In this question, we are to simplify a fraction whose denominator is irrational. So, we will have to rationalize the fraction. But before rationalizing it, let us consider the denominator. We will have to rearrange the terms of the denominator. We see that there are three terms in the denominator: square root of 5, square root of 2, and square root of 3. We see that 5 is sum of 3 and 2. So, now we will create two groups of the numbers. In first group, we will keep the largest number, square root of 5. And in second group, we will keep other two smaller terms, square root of 3 and square root of 2. Okay? So, let us rewrite this fraction. We can write the denominator as square root of 3 plus square root of 2 in one bracket, then negative sign, and in other bracket it is square root of 5. Now we can rationalize this fraction by multiplying both numerator and denominator by square root of 3 plus square root of 2 plus square root of 5. In the numerator, we have only one term, square root of 3 plus square root of 2 plus square root of 5. See, after multiplying with 1, the value is same. So the numerator is square root of 3 plus square root of 2 plus square root of 5. And in the denominator, we have multiplication of two terms. The first term is square root of 3 plus square root of 2 minus square root of 5, and second one is square root of 3 plus square root of 2 plus square root of 5. We can apply an identity here while solving the denominator. It is a minus b multiplied by a plus b is equal to a square minus b square. Here a stands for square root of 3 plus square root of 2 and b stands for square root of 5. So using this identity here in the denominator can be simplified as square root of 3 plus square root of 2 whole square minus square of square root of 5. Now numerator is as it is. Square of square root of 3 plus square root of 2. We can apply an identity a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus twice of ab. Using this identity here a stands for square root of 3 and b stands for square root of 2. We can simplify this term as a square plus b square plus twice of ab, then negative sign, then square of square root of 5. So it is 5 itself. Now once again numerator is as it is. Denominator, it is square of square root 3, so 3, then it is 2, twice of square root of 3 multiplied by square root of 2, so it is twice of square root 6, then minus 5. 3 plus 2 is 5 and then minus 5, the result is 0, so the remaining term is only 2 times of square root of 6. So we can write this fraction as square root of 3 plus square root of 2 plus square root of 5 whole divided by twice of square root 6. Now, once again we have found a fraction whose denominator is irrational, and now we are to rationalize it once again. This time we can rationalize this fraction by multiplying numerator and denominator both by square root of 6. Doing so, we will get numerator the multiplication of square root of 3 and square root of 6, square root of 2 and square root of 6, then square root 5 is multiplying with square root 6. This is the numerator. Denominator is multiplication of twice of square root 6 and square root 6. Now, square root 3 and square root 6 in multiplication. We can write it as square root 3 multiplied by square root 3 multiplied by square root 2. It is square root 3 multiplying with square root 6. We see that these two terms in multiplication will make 3 and the rest is square root 2. So we can write square root 3 multiplied by square root 6 as thrice of square root 2. Similarly, square root 2 in multiplication with square root 6, it is nothing but square root 2 multiplied by square root 2 and square root 3, it is square root 6. Now square root of 2 in multiplication with square root 2 is 2, then square root 3. So this term is twice of square root 3, and the last one is square root 30. The denominator we will have twice of 6, it is 12. So finally we will get thrice of square root 2 plus twice of square root 3 plus square root of 30 divided by 6 to the 12.